Over 4 decades ago, a tragic night in Minnesota would leave behind one of the most chilling photographs ever captured. A photograph that police say defied explanation. It was a night filled with excitement. Teenager John Boulware and 3 of his friends were on their way to a Prince concert, a night of music, fun, and freedom. But before they ever reached the venue, tragedy struck. Their car lost control and slammed into a tree at nearly 40 miles per hour. The impact was brutal. John suffered a broken neck and was pronounced dead at the scene. His 3 friends survived, only with minor injuries. The world carried on that night, but something at the crash site did not. When police arrived, they documented the scene as usual. An officer named Brian Coyle took photos using a standard film camera, capturing the twisted metal and shattered glass for the case file. Days later, when the film was developed, police noticed something strange, something horrifying, in one of the photos. Hovering above the wreckage was a face. A screaming face, eerily similar to John Boulware's. Officer Brian Coyle later recalled the moment on the show Case Files Unknown. He said, "There were some images on the pictures that definitely weren't there when I was taking them. I didn't have any explanation for it." He described the figure as appearing to be in agony, with distinctive hair and a clear profile, unmistakably like Boulware himself. Experts were brought in. Photographic analysts studied the film. No one, not even professionals, could explain how that face appeared. No double exposure, no light reflection, no trick of the lens. Just the image of a soul caught between worlds. To this day, no one has provided a clear explanation for the photograph. It remains one of Minnesota's most unsettling paranormal mysteries. A haunting reminder that sometimes tragedy leaves a trace. The internet wants you to believe that this is a spirit, and maybe it is. I could be completely wrong. But if you look closely, something else starts to appear. You can see what looks like a dark blue uniform, maybe even a badge. Back then, photos were taken with old film cameras, and with barely any light, it's easy to create a double exposure or a motion blur effect that looks almost supernatural. When you really study the photo, it doesn't look like a ghost screaming at all. It looks more like a police officer yawning, moving his head just as the picture was taken. So, I started working on the photo myself. I adjusted the lighting, enhanced the contrast, and then I began sketching what I was actually seeing. The more I looked, the clearer it became. And what started as a ghostly face began to look like something else entirely. Let me know what you think.
Verga. ¿Qué fue eso? No mames. Verga. ¿Qué fue eso? No mames.
In the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, December 1924, the American oil tanker SS Watertown sailed steadily through the waves, unaware that it was about to become the setting for one of the most chilling ghost stories in maritime history. Two seamen, James Courtney and Michael Meehan, were assigned a grim but routine task, cleaning out a cargo tank deep within the ship. But as they worked, something went horribly wrong. They were overcome by toxic gas fumes, and before help could reach them, both men were dead. Following the ancient tradition of the sea, the crew committed their bodies to the ocean the very next day, December 4th, 1924. Their shipmates gathered in silence as the waves closed over them, the ceremony brief but respectful. No one could have imagined what would happen next. Just before dusk the following evening, the crew was thrown into chaos. Shouts rang out across the deck, men pointing toward the water in disbelief. Floating beside the ship were two faces, the faces of Courtney and Meehan, the very men who had been buried at sea the day before. Their ghostly visages appeared and disappeared, sometimes in the waves, sometimes, horrifyingly, on the deck itself. The sightings continued for days. The terrified crew swore they could still see the two seamen watching them as they sailed onward. Finally, someone grabbed a camera. A photo was taken, and the film, untouched and sealed inside, was handed directly to Captain Keith Tracy for safekeeping. When the ship reached New Orleans, the captain delivered the camera to officials at the city's services company, the owners of the vessel. From there, it was sent to New York, where a professional commercial photographer developed the film. And when the prints came back, there they were. Two unmistakable faces. The ghostly heads of Courtney and Meehan, staring back from the ocean's surface, exactly as the crew had described. To this day, the photograph of the SS Watertown ghosts remains one of the most talked about and controversial images in paranormal history. We're dropping an hour-long video this Halloween evening, one that will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish.